Hello everyone, it's Bethany from Beth and Books. Welcome back to this book nook. Today we are doing another episode of Spin That Wheel. It is, hang on, where are we? I've got my board back here. Episode 7, and welcome to all of the new subscribers. We've had a little bit of a growth spurt in the past couple of weeks. So this is a video where I spin Le Wheel and the prompts prompt me for my next 8 or so books. I don't do them monthly because I find when I have a time pressure, I don't get through them. That's just what I'm like. So instead, these videos just come at you whenever I finish reading the books from the last video. I've also started keeping track of the books I've read just because I'm really hoping to see this number go down. So far this year, I've read 95 books, but I still have 307 on my list. If you've seen some of my recent videos, I've hauled a lot of books. In fact, this whole shelf, except for that one, books I want to try and get through. So I'm going to try my best from these prompts to choose them from my physical TBR shelf. And also, this is a special episode because I have all of these new prompts. There are 38 here. I'm not going to go through them all because that would take me eons, but just so you know, these, a lot of these have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Suggested to me by followers over on my Instagram. And if they have been suggested to me, such as this one from Rachel Reads, I've just got them there to give them a little bit of a shout out if it comes up on the wheel. With that being said, if you have any ideas of prompts to go on the wheel that you don't see, pop them down below. If it's not a double up, I'll write you on one of these cards and give you a shout out whenever it comes up on the wheel. Speaking of the wheel, I feel like it's time to freshen it up with a bunch of these new prompts, so let's do that. Okay, so also this is the follower favourite. I've got a jar up there full of suggestions from my followers. Again, if you have a book suggestion, leave it down below and I'll pop it in the jar when I have a chance. And if that comes up on the spin, I pull a slip from the piece of paper, and if it's you, I give you a $5 Amazon gift card to go towards your next bookish purchase. So let's give these a shuffle. The first one to go up there is a childhood fave. This is from Reading Mania 420. The next random one is Let the Followers Vote by Maxie.Malley. The next one, I'm just trying to keep these random as possible, is a genre generator. Then it is my own book, so literally one off my own physical TBR. Next is Gifted by Rachel Reads. That one actually came up. Next one, I'm just picking them randomly off the floor at this point, is a blurb word by Annie Pasek. So that's when the first letter of the colour you land on must be the first letter of the blurb. This is a really unique one. So if it lands on this one, it's blue. So I have to choose a book where the first letter of the blurb is B. 4+ stars on Goodreads, another one by Maxie.Malley. Next one, Arc. That'll be good. I've got quite a few arcs I want to get to soon. Next is Kind of Afraid Of by Laureen Reed. Honestly, anything big. Own Voices by Bottom of the Bookshelf. And A Hated Author by, is it Ail Barrionuevo? Please tell me if I'm saying it wrong. And with that being said, I'm going to put these all together and give all of them, with all the existing prompts, a good old shuffle. Do they even fit? I need to do an expansion pack on my wheel. Okay, I forced them in there. And for this video, I'm going to be spinning for 8 books. So spin number 1. An Own Voices book. I'm going to have to do some research about this one. Let me have a look. So for this one, I ended up choosing The Leavers by Lisa Ko. Lisa Ko herself is an Chinese-American a Chinese-American writer, so she's the first in her family to have been born in America, and this story is also about a Chinese immigrant who kind of essentially disappears. So her name's Polly and she goes to a nail salon and never comes back. And this leaves her son, I think it's Deming. It's Deming. Let me know if you know the proper enunciation of that, please. And so it leaves Polly's son Deming essentially on his own, and he ends up being adopted by a couple of well-meaning but white professors. And it's the conversation around love, but how if you don't have your culture as part of your daily life, then is your life like fully whole? Okay. And that one is being replaced with, what's up front? Oh, man, I really need to expand this. A random TBR. For book number 2. Oh, get back in your lane. Let's try that again. Genre generator. Okay. Internet book genre generator. I keep saying generator instead of generator. Alright, let me screen record this and go. Oh, yes! Okay, I'm really excited for this. I'm going to read Throwaway Girls. This is by Andrea Contos. And yes, this is an ACT. Thank you so much to Kids Can Press for letting me read this through NetGalley. Thank you guys, I'm super excited. So this is a young adult mystery novel with LGBTQIA plus representation. And we follow Caroline. Now, Caroline is 3 months away from graduation and freedom. Freedom from her really rigid schooling life where everyone essentially is trying to make her be straight. In order to get to freedom as quickly and quietly as possible, Caroline just lays low, does her work as the perfect student until one day her friend goes missing. So this friend is called Madeline, and it sounds like Madeline's done something really great for Caroline, so Caroline feels like she owes her. And what ensues is Caroline trying to figure out what happened to Madeline, and along the way discovering other girls have gone missing, whilst throughout all of this realising that she doesn't know her friend and maybe herself as well as she originally thought. And this comes out September 1st, if you're wondering. Okay, time for spin number 3. Sci-fi fantasy. Let's go. You know what this means? I know what this means straight away. This means Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. I always want to say Marissa Meyer. I'm not too sure why, but you've all heard of what this is. This is the first book of Twilight written from Edward's perspective. And it's huge. It's so much bigger than I originally thought. Let me find some books to compare it with. So this is about 750 pages long, and this is Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. It's thicker than that. In comparison to Twilight, so the first one, so I'm honestly intrigued to see like how much more is in here because it's from Edward's perspective. I'm so pumped. Okay, and that one gets replaced with a new author, so a book from an author whom I haven't read from before. Spin number 4. A childhood favourite. Okay, thank you, Reading Mania 420. Let me have a peek down there on my shelf and choose a kids book. Now, I could go like real cheaty and reread like a Dr. Seuss one, but I think I'll find one of my mom middle grade books. I've got a funny feeling that out of Jacqueline Wilson's books, I have more memory around the illustrated mum. So let's get this out. Oh my gosh, they're all stuck together. So this is a book about Star, Marigold and Dolphin. Now Star and Dolphin are the sisters. Marigold is the illustrated mum, and it's essentially Star thinks her mum is cool, Dolphin wishes her mum was more normal, and it's a commentary on them. Alright, and that is going to be replaced with 100 books. That means one of the books off my 100 books to read poster. And so for spin number 5. kind of afraid of. Now, I can take this in multiple ways. One, I'm literally scared of because it's horror. One, I'm scared of because I'm scared it's going to not meet expectations. Or one, I'm scared of just because of the pure size. Let's see what I've got on my list. I think I'm going to go with All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, because it's a historical fiction and I'm scared I'm not going to like it when all I've heard are good things about it, because historical fiction isn't a genre I am most widely familiar with. So in this book we have Marie, and it is set in Paris during World War II, and it follows her, her father, and a German boy called Werner as the Nazis are invading. Now, Marie is blind and Werner is a German, orphan who is destined to live in the mines for the whole life. And it kind of sounds like those two opposite children get to know each other, kind of like the boy in striped pajamas kind of vibe. But I'm scared I'm not gonna like it because it's so highly rated, but it might just not be my thing. Alrighty, that one is going to be replaced with oldest on my TBR. Okay, I wonder what that would be. It used to be Paper Towns, but I read that. Let's go for spin number 6. Let the followers vote. Okay, what I'm going to do is choose a couple of books, put it in my Instagram, and I'll insert whatever the option is, and future me will come in and talk about it. The ones I'm going to offer up are, oh, it's kind of dark in here, eh? Sorry team, it is nighttime. Don't Call the Wolf, which is one of my 2020 new releases that I'm excited for. And the other option is going to be...
Hey guys, so future me is here. I did not actually put it to a vote because, as you'll see, the books I chose stacked up to be quite a pile, and honestly adding another book to that pile would be extremely daunting, so forgive me, but I don't have a book for this prompt.
That is to be replaced with a big book, so over 500 words. Oh, I hope it's not that one. I've already got Midnight Sun on there. Right, so let's go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this my 500-page book because I do really want to read it. So let's chat about it. This is Don't Call the Wolf, and it is essentially a young adult fantasy novel classic. I feel like I haven't read a young adult fantasy novel in so long. Okay, so we have Wren. She was abandoned by humans, raised in a forest full of like magical spiritual figures. Then we have Lucas's, who is one of the last remaining dragon slayers. The thing is, there's a dragon that lives in this forest, this dragon, who lives in Wren's forest and is essentially like ruining the place. And it's a story of Wren and Lucas's mission to defeat the dragon in a magical forest. It just sounds so wondrous. Also, it was 498 pages, but your girl's counting that. Right, so that one gets replaced with the final prompt, which is going to be... Wait, latest TBR? Don't I already have that? No, wait, that's oldest. So the latest add to my TBR. Okay, that makes more sense. Final spin. Hey, we're just talking about that. Okay, Goodreads, what is it? Alright, want to read. Let's go internet. Date added. Is the Breakfast Club going to be my... Okay, so the library doesn't have the Breakfast Club. I keep looking, but Goldfinch is next, and I've actually got that on my shelf. I mean, it's another massive book. Like, this is what, like, far out. How big is this? I mean, it's another massive one. It's like 800 pages. I've got some pages to go through. Let me know if you want a dedicated vlog for this book. I'd be super into making this part of my like What the Hype series if you're intrigued. So this is about Theo, and honestly the best way to describe this book is literally the short blurb on the back. So if you don't know, Theo is the son of a devoted mother and is 13 years old. Father isn't in the picture, and he survives a catastrophe So he's alone in New York and he's taken in by the family of a wealthy friend. Theo is tormented by longing for his mother, and down the years he clings to the thing that reminds him of her, a small captivating painting that ultimately draws him into the criminal underworld. I am so excited to read this. So let's just add this to the billion pages that I have to get through. So these are the books plus tablet on top with Throwaway Girl as the ag that I'm going to try and read. I do appreciate the colour scheme that's going on here though, like black, purples and reds, very gothic, enjoying that. Am I scared of this pile in general? A lot so, but you know what? I'm sure they're all going to be great, fantastic reads. Did you feel the floor shake? That's how heavy they are. With that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in to episode 7 of Will Chooses My TBR. If you have any real suggestion prompts, leave a comment down below, as well as clicking that subscribe icon whilst you are at it. With all that being said, enjoy all the places you go in your own reading adventures, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!